Hi, Dr. Betty. My name is Eric Maigo, student for MSC DSA at Strathmore University. I wanted to submit my assignment or my term exercise for data visualization, which is a case study that I carried out using Microsoft Power BI. So on the screen is the visualization that I did. But just first to start off is just to thank you for a great semester where we learned a lot. And the good thing is these skills are easily applicable right off the bat in any business setting right away. So it's something which I've already started implementing where I work. I work in finance in a healthcare institution. So it's something which is very applicable to what I do in terms of giving insights to decision makers within the business to be able to gain insights from often voluminous, hard to understand data, so that then you are able to move the institution forward. So as I said, my name is Eric Maigo. My study was on financial performance within the healthcare setup, and I used visualization and data storytelling to come up with these dashboards based on a business need to improve performance of an institution. So how did I do this? So in any business intelligence process, which ideally you want to get insights from data that will be able to or enable a decision maker make data-driven decisions, which then are right, because you can make a decision which is wrong. It is not data-driven, basically. So in a process of business intelligence, you first start with the data gathering from various sources. And it could be from transactional databases, it could be from websites, it could be from CRM or customer relationship management tools. So you first start by gathering the data. Then you then clean the data. The good thing with such tools like Power BI and Tableau is they also have data cleaning features that come in application. But you also sometimes have to do your own cleaning of the application. So that's one step that you have to do. Then you analyze the data by finding patterns, trends, or relationships. For example, in terms of coming up with a data model, you need to identify the business needs and then the relationships within the data that then can help you see or help you make that decision. Then once you analyze the data through a model, then you visualize that data. And you can visualize using charts, maps, you can do scatter plots, you can do donuts, you can do a lot of fancy things using Power BI or Tableau. So the visualization is often accompanied with a story. So sometimes you just want to put a story so that someone ties the visualization with the story that you're telling and can easily grasp that. The last part is then interpretation of that visualization and then making that decision. So this is something that business owners or business sponsors or directors or other stakeholders need to use. So then when coming up with this visualization, it first started with getting the data source right. So the data source for this study is a hospital transactional database, which sits on an SQL server. It's the general ledger. This is on the test environment of the business. So because sometimes even getting rights to data which is live, sometimes because of privacy issues can be difficult. but then it's on an SQL server, and it's the general ledger transactional database. So the first step is to do an SQL query to extract the data from the SQL database. Then you can either query directly, or you can export and download into an Excel file, which then you can import into Power BI just to analyze. But before that, I used a feature selection criterion based on the select SQL command. And it was limited to dimensions such as revenue, expenditure, inventory, collections, bank, assets. Those are the key performance areas that I wanted to really focus on. Then I did the data cleaning using Power BI. There were no errors when you upload the data. It will ask you whether it will first start by cleaning the data and show you any errors that arise from that data. There are no errors or inconsistencies. You now then transform the data. For this particular exercise, it was basically joining some tables where you can see definite relationships, and this helps with the data model. So again, with the data model is you just come up with a theory, and you want to understand the business requirements. What do I need to do, and which fields or dimensions do I want to see, so that then I can make a business decision. So you get these dimensions and come up with fact tables and corresponding measures. Then at a granular level, you want to identify your dimensions and hierarchies. So once, for example, if I give you an example here is on the general ledger table, you might find that your data correlate with your revenue or with certain stock items. So you want to show that relationship as well. So once you come up with the data model, then you can come up with the dashboard reports and the visualizations, which then tell the story that you want to tell in a snapshot. So you're able to see exactly what business metrics you want to show. So I think the limitations, and again, you'd find that when it comes to visualizations and dashboards, you can have graphs, funnels, pie charts, word clouds, bubble charts, those kind of things to just better tell a story. So in conclusion, I think business intelligence is a critical aspect of any modern business. Most businesses now have business intelligence specialists or business analysts or data analysts, data scientists, or even outsource consultants to do that work for them, because it helps them turn around the business performance. So the limitations that I had were largely access to information. Sometimes getting systems such as Power BI or Tableau can be expensive, but luckily for me, if you buy, if you're a Microsoft user and you're licensed, then you can get Power BI as an add-on, and then you can do these visualizations. Then also cleaning the data sometimes has its challenges because it's time consuming, sometimes it's hard, but once you get the steps right, you'll be able to go through it well. And also these applications, both Tableau and Power BI, have data cleaning features, which you can easily use to clean some routine data issues. So now immediately and right away into the presentation or the visualization. So this is Power BI, and you can clearly see where you can get the data here from this tab, or you can also import. If you have a Power BI template, you can import it, then you can use that template to create, other users can use it to create the same dashboards that you created. So it's a simple tool, and it's almost customized to the way other Microsoft applications are presented, or the interface is the same, the user interface. So you have your data tab or data panel over here, which is the various dimensions that you picked and the values assigned to those dimensions. You have your visualizations tab over here, where you can easily do all this manner of different charts, like a map is here, there's a pie chart, there's a donut, there's a funnel. So all kinds of good stuff you can do using these visualization tools. And you also have your filter tab here, where you can easily get specific items that you want to do. I did various visualizations. First one is on revenue here, which is the first tab here. And this shows your revenue per profit center, basically, or product. So you have your pharmacy sales, you have your lab tests, you have your radiology sales, you have your theater. So you can easily tell that pharmacy sales are the highest. And there's a text tab over here, which we input just to give that story. So as a business decision maker, you maybe be interested in saying, okay, why are radiology sales not the same as pharmacy sales? There must be a problem. Or we can grow our radiology sales so that then we boost all other lines. So then as any decision maker would do, and this is now where data science comes into play, the question why. So your radiology sales are low, why? Maybe you don't have the right machines, or maybe you don't have the right personnel. Why don't you have the right personnel? Why don't you have the right equipment? You keep on saying why until you find the issues and come up with activities from decisions that can help you drive the institution forward. So back to this visualization, you can see that we have the graph here, and we also have some high-level dashboards, which shows the total income, operating income, your other income. Over here, we also have the filter per year. So you can choose a filter, and it changes that narrative and visualization. So also did for banks, where you can quickly see which banks have the most money. You can see Standard Chartered Bank has the most. Then Commercial Bank of Africa has the second highest, and smaller accounts. And here you have your amount per year and the cash that you have at any point in time. And you can see using these filters, when you change them, whether April or August, the number changes, the values change. So by going back to that database, which has dates as part of the dimensions, or the columns, you'll be able to quickly change this and see how much money you had at a particular point in time. You have your inventory here. You have your assets. You have your doctor vendor amounts. Doctors are suppliers to the hospital, so most times we owe them money. So you can, at a glance, tell that we owe doctors 226 million. But then, because the money comes from insurance companies and then we just transmit to the doctors, you can see that the money which has fully settled, which is money which has been paid by the insurers for us to forward to the doctors, is more than the money, is less, sorry, than the money which hasn't been settled by insurance companies. So the gray tab is the money which is payable from this 226 million. So here you have a donut, which you can someone can easily interpret. You have your billing statistics, which shows your patient types. You can see we get most revenue from outpatient rather than inpatient. And we have a commentary here, a story that we can tell. And then finally, we have the financial performance, which now is the overall snapshot. So you can tell that your total income is 6.53 billion, expenses are 6.93 billion, you're at a loss. So quickly, a business decision maker can see that we need to turn this around. The main issue is expenses are higher than income. So either we have to up the income or reduce the expenses. So keep on asking why, until we get the right decision. So in a nutshell, that's the visualization that I did for this exercise. I've attached an accompanying report of what I did and the theory behind it and the various resources that we got this information from. But just to sign off is to say thank you for an engaging and insightful course throughout the semester. It's been hard because oftentimes we're very busy at work, trying to also come up with assignments and those kind of things. But it's been really insightful, helpful, advantageous to me. It's skills which I can immediately use, and I thank you for that. So here's to a good semester and hoping that I get a good grade. So thank you, Dr. Betsy.